All right. What's up, guys? Party's about to start. The circus continues. I think it was divine intervention that the Iowa caucus became completely ruined. Uh-oh. I'm getting feedback here. I knew I should have tested this a little bit before I went live, so hold on.
Yeah, we couldn't even notice that.
There we go. All right, how's that? I think we're back. All right, so I think it's been about a year since I've done a live stream. So we got about 8 minutes until the State of the Union kicks off, which is going to be about an hour and a half. So I don't know if he has released the transcript of what he's going to say. I heard that he's going to try to be nice and be, unifying and everything. Cow farts for brains. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not going to show up. She couldn't handle it. So we won't be, blessed with her. Oh, the chat's going nuts. All right, what's up, guys? So we will not be blessed with her reactions. You may recall, I think it was last year, when the president said, we'll never become a socialist nation. And the cameraman, of course, zoomed in on crazy old Bernie, Breadline Bernie, to get his reaction, which was fantastic. All right, I think I got it all set up, so as soon as he comes in, a couple more minutes, right? How's everything sounding over there in the chat, guys? I don't know if I have a video. Actually, no, I do have a video tomorrow, but it won't be about this. I don't know. It depends how long the chat goes here, how long the live stream goes. So, hope you guys have been enjoying the videos, especially yesterday's. Thanks to all you guys who sponsored the channel through the YouTube membership. And if you do that, you can get custom icons through the live streams in the chats, and as well as you get a little icon next to your name in the comments on the normal videos. And so, I want to start doing a lot more edgier videos like that. Which I know will get demonetized, so your support helps to encourage that. So I see some super chats coming in over there. Oh wow, you can allow graphics in the super chats now. Interesting. Many of you guys probably know more about the super chat feature than me. Super chat's a great way to sponsor the channel. I'll answer some of the questions here for the next 5 minutes. Red wave coming, Trump 2020. Oh, you got your QAnon guy. Daniel Palmquist. Thank you, Daniel. It's going to be great. I really do think it was divine intervention that the Iowa caucus became such a debacle. And they're just looking like complete jackasses. And even James Carville is furious at what's become of the Democrat Party. I mean, when some of the candidates like Elizabeth Warren have their preferred pronouns in their Twitter bio, you know they've gone completely insane. And only a small percentage of Americans actually use Twitter. If you use Twitter, you know that anybody who has their pronouns in their bio is automatically a complete lunatic. So I did a video about this last year. I can't remember how many of the candidates put their pronouns in their bio. I think Elizabeth Warren was one of the first. We should start trolling them, though, because I don't think Joe Biden has his. Bernie Sanders may not. It's some of the more far left. Beto, I think, put his in there, and we'll have to start trolling them and pressure them. We should start, hopefully we won't regret it, but we should see if we can push them even further left than they already are, to turn off the normal voters in the Midwest. And now, as you may have seen, they're complaining about the Iowa caucus being the kickoff to the election season, because there's too many white people in Iowa. Of course. Of course. Pedro F. with the super chat. Hi, Mark. Keep it up. Thank you, bro. Matt Johnson. Thanks, and God bless you and President Trump. God bless America. Yes. This is going to be it, man. I mean, it could have been a little bit better if he was acquitted yesterday, but it is kind of funny because it's sort of looming, and they're here sitting there knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. So hopefully we can get past this national nightmare and just start focusing on the election. It was fun for like the first year of the impeachment psychosis, maybe the second year, but it really did get to see like we were living the same day over and over again. So maybe since Sunday was Groundhog Day, Just like Bill Murray in the end of the movie, we finally woke up and to a new day. Finally, after 3 years. So I think it's all perfect timing. I think this is divine intervention by God. Any weapon that the enemy tries to form against you shall only be used to benefit you. Or no, what does it say? Any stepping stone, any stumbling block the enemy tries to put in front of you turns into a stepping stone. And that's what we're seeing. Everything that they've done has backfired.
They keep that quiet.
Teresa,
And I got a lot of stuff I'll be covering later this week. They're rolling out some new restrictions on social media. Twitter is going to start fact-checking memes and videos. YouTube just said that they're going to ban birther videos and videos, because there's like a conspiracy theory out there that some people say that Bader Ginsburg is no longer with us. You can't spread a rumor that somebody is dead when they're not. Which is interesting because that would mean that one of my old videos would be banned, because I did a video years ago where I approached people and I told them that Joe Biden had been dead for 7 years and he hasn't had a memorial and all this stuff. I don't think anybody knew who he was, and this is when he was still vice president under Obama. So I'm going to have to get out and do some more Man of the Street. JT Boswell, thank Mark, keep us informed and laughing. I try. I don't even know how I do it. You know, during my live streams and stuff like this, I don't think I'm like funny and, you know, and entertaining. This is probably like my more serious side. But I think I just channel and articulate the madness of what it is that we're seeing, because you can't help but laugh at it. And if you don't laugh at it, you're going to go nuts. Jimmy C with a super chat. It's raining super chats in here, man. I appreciate that. Oh, didn't get my thing set up properly, so we flip back. Jimmy C, thank you for the super chat. Donald Trump 2020, Ivanka 2024. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Don Jr. runs, but it probably will be for another 20 years. Don Jr. is only 40 years old, so he's certainly not going to run here in another 4 years. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 15 or 20 years, Donald Trump Jr. throws his hat in the ring. Oh, we ready to roll here almost?
Madam Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Bite Deity's been avoiding politics for a while. Haven't been staying up to date on my channel, but here because why not? Well, thanks, man. Go check out. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I've been doing videos almost 5 days a week. I may have to cut back to 4 days a week. And then, like I said, it's getting difficult, especially with the demonetization stuff, and I feel like it's a waste to post a video when it will get approved for monetization the next day, especially when I'm up late making the videos, so I may have to hold off sometimes. And my schedule's getting pretty crazy, so maybe we'll just do live streams every once in a while. McFly bought my book, loves the videos. Oh wait, what's this? Melania, it is Melania, yes. Oh, this is going to be fun. First time catching one of my live streams, says Southern Rebel. Well, thank you. It's been a year since I've done a live stream, actually. I did them I think in 2018, I would do them periodically. But it cuts into my time of gathering. To make the videos, it takes so long. And if I do a live stream, then I don't think I can put out a video that night. And part of the reason, too, I might start doing videos only 4 days a week is sometimes I don't want to feel like I'm rushing a video, and sometimes I think they could be a little bit better. So I don't want to just have to put something out just to put it out, when if I just take a little bit more time, I can really get it exactly how I want. And you guys probably know I'm such a perfectionist. And my editor, I'm sure I drive him nuts because everything's got to be just perfect. My editor's great too. And I didn't make like some big announcement, but you may have been able to tell over the last year the videos got really good because I did hire an editor. And so I don't want to start complaining about monetization in every video, so I think you guys pretty much know what's up, but it's totally worth it. He is fantastic. I'm getting carpal tunnel or tendonitis, and it just saves me the time and work and the damage that I'm doing to myself. Lefties suck, says Chuggin Mugs. Trying to keep his family friend here, Chuggin. John Doe with a super chat. Tabitha Davis, what's up? Appreciate that. You guys are more than generous with the super chats. Oh, by the way, I am releasing to celebrate Trump's acquittal until Sunday. I am re-releasing the Trump Silver Silhouette shirt and the Trump 2020 silver foils. So these are what they actually look like. The pictures on markdice.com, like I said before, don't do them any justice. So for a limited time to celebrate Acquittal Day here on Acquittal Eve, it's just going to get so much better from now on. What are they going to do? They're going to keep bringing up impeachment now that the caucuses and the voting has begun. They're going to look like total idiots now. I don't even think the mainstream Democrats are going to want to bring it up after this utter failure, because just mentioning impeachment is going to remind people of the failure. It's like, okay, so you already did it. Yay, he's been impeached. Good for you. Good luck. Congratulations. But to try to do it again, which they may try to do, it's going to make them seem like complete idiots. So they may just hold off when he gets reelected. They'll just, the following day, they'll reintroduce articles of impeachment into the House. Try to get him impeached again. Betty Albert, thanks for the live stream. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. How many people we have watching here anyway? Try to suck some viewers away just in case anybody happens to tune in to the State of the Union on any of the major networks. We want to take all the viewers away from them as possible. Beyond my purview, yeah, we need to keep bringing up good old Mueller, the Mueller backfire. I see Democrats are wearing historical white suits. Great work, Mark. I haven't even seen really what they're doing. They should be wearing clown masks. All right, here we come. We're coming pretty close here. So, oh, here we go. Yes.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Everything sound okay in the chat, guys? Audio sounds good? Give me a big thumbs up. Audio good. Okay, cool. There she is. Yes. Dub Coco wants a little Brian Stelter voice. Oh, I got some other Brian Stelter stuff I gotta do. He debunked when Trump said that Michael Bloomberg wanted a stool at the debates, which he probably did. I mean, it may be a joke, but Julian Castro had a stool because he's only like 5'7". I think Michael Bloomberg's 5'7". J.B. Weld, yeah, the Botox Queen, Pelosi. Rabbit Nemo loves the coverage. My audio okay while there's audio of the event here? Love the coverage. I'm keeping my head down in Seattle. Liberals have destroyed my hometown and state. P.S. I tried to say I am a Trump without the Spacey supporter. It wouldn't send, huh? Yeah, so it's crazy. I don't think ever before in history have we had a time where you can't put a bumper sticker of the candidate or the president that you like on your vehicle because you're concerned that it's going to be keyed or have the window smashed. I mean, maybe in certain parts of the country it's been like that in the past, but never before has it been this bad. That's why I should say it more. You guys probably know this, just wear my shirts at your own risk. It's getting crazy out there. Janice Lance with a super chat. Love the shirts and the books. Oh, good. Awesome. I'm going to start promoting the books more. Like I said in today's video, the books are where you're going to get the uncensored truth, because even though Amazon has banned some books, it still is a taboo against that. So I can say what I really want to say in the books, at least at this point. They may ban them at some point in the future. I mean, in a few years, they probably will be. Will be banned. And they'll cheer. And just like some of my YouTube associates, like I was talking with Gary Franchi at the Next News Network. I've known him, another YouTuber, for like 15 years. And after the election, focusing on Facebook, I'll tell you a story
Members
later.
of Congress,
here we go.
The President of the United States.
Yes. They're chanting 4 more years. Oh, yes. Oh, we got to see the Democrats looking like a bunch of sourpusses.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States.
Yes. I was surprised that she was going to let him run again, actually.
And my fellow citizens, 3 years ago, we launched the Great American Comeback. Tonight, I stand before you to share the incredible results. Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting, crime is falling, confidence is surging, and our country is thriving and highly respected again.
Yes. None of the Democrats are applauding. They don't respect our country. Look at him. Pelosi.
America's enemies are on the run. America's fortunes are on the rise, and America's future is blazing bright. The years of economic decay are over.
Yes. No, we love the economic decay, says the Democrats.
The days of our country being used, taken advantage of, and even scorned by other nations are long behind us.
Pelosi hasn't even looked at him. She can't even look at
The
him.
broken promises, jobless recoveries, tired platitudes, and constant excuses for the depletion of American wealth, power, and prestige. In just 3 short years, we have shattered the mentality of American decline, and we have rejected the downsizing of Americans' destiny. We have totally rejected the downsizing. We're moving forward at a pace that was unimaginable just a short time ago, and we are never, ever going back.
Not so funny now, is it, Camel Toe?
I am thrilled to report to you tonight that our economy is the best it has ever been. Our military is completely rebuilt, with its power being unmatched anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. Our borders are secure. Our families are flourishing. Our values are renewed. Our pride is restored. And for all of these reasons, I say to the people of our great country and to the members of Congress, the state of our union is stronger than ever before.
Despite the Democrats trying to tear it in half. Look at him. He's sitting there like a bunch of bumping the logs. We want the Union to be strong, Mr.
The
Trump.
vision I will lay
Or
out
weak.
this evening demonstrates how we are building the world's most prosperous and inclusive society, one where every citizen can join in America's unparalleled success and where every community can take part in America's extraordinary rise. From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements. Our agenda is relentlessly pro-worker, pro-family, pro-growth, and most of all, pro-American.
Can't even applaud for pro-American. They're pro-New World Order. They're pro-Mexico, which is dumping 50 million gallons of sewage into San Diego a day, by the way.
We are advancing with unbridled optimism and lifting our citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed very, very high. Since my election, we have created 7 million new jobs, 5 million more than government experts projected during the previous administration.
Can't applaud for jobs either.
The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. And very incredibly, the average unemployment rate under my administration is lower than any administration in the history of our country. Yeah. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success. The unemployment rate for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans has reached the lowest levels in history.
They won't applaud for that, of course. Nope, look at that! The Democrat Party, the party for people of color, can't even applaud for the unemployment rate being all-time low.
African American youth unemployment has reached an all-time low. African American poverty has declined to the lowest rate ever recorded. The unemployment rate for women reached the lowest level in almost 70 years, and last year women filled 72% of all new jobs added.
I think that's the Women's Caucus. Can't even applaud for women's jobs.
The veterans' unemployment rate dropped to a record low. The unemployment rate for disabled Americans has reached an all-time low.
Can't applaud for that either. These Democrats are a disgrace. What do you think the average American at home is thinking when they see these idiots?
Workers without a high school diploma have achieved the lowest unemployment rate recorded in U.S. history.
Now even high school dropouts have jobs.
A record number of young Americans are now employed. Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps, and 10 million people have been lifted off of welfare.
That's certainly terrible news for growing the size of the government and their, was it the Cloward-Piven strategy where they want people on the welfare rolls, the Democrats do, to overstress the system? The Cliven-Piven strategy, what is that called?
In 8 years under the last administration, over 300,000 working-age people dropped out of the workforce. In just 3 years of my administration, 3.5 million people Working age people have joined the workforce.
I don't know why so
Since
many
my
comments are
election,
held
the
for
net
review,
worth
guys. I
of the
apologize
bottom
for
half
that.
of wage earners has increased by 47%, 3 times faster than the increase for the top 1%. After decades of flat and falling incomes, wages are rising fast, and wonderfully, they are rising fastest for low-income workers who have seen a 16% pay increase since my election. This is a blue-collar boom.
Can't applaud that. They can't applaud for anything. The party of the working man. Look at them. They're mad. How dare you help the blue-collar workers?
Real median household income is now at the highest level ever recorded. Since my election, U.S. stock markets have soared 70%, adding more than $12 trillion to our nation's wealth, transcending anything anyone believed was possible. This is a record. It is something that every country in the world is looking up to. They admire. Consumer confidence has just reached amazing new highs. All of those millions of people with 401ks and pensions are doing far better than they have ever done before, with increases of 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% and even more. Jobs and investments are pouring into 9,000 previously neglected neighborhoods thanks to Opportunity Zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott as part of our great Republican tax cuts.
JB Weld dropping a huge super chat. Thanks, bro.
In other words, wealthy people and companies are pouring money into poor neighborhoods or areas that haven't seen investment in many decades, creating jobs, energy, and excitement. This is the first time that these deserving communities have seen anything like this. It's all working. Opportunity Zones are helping Americans like Army veteran Tony Rankins from Cincinnati, Ohio. After struggling with drug addiction, Tony lost his job, his house, and his family. He was homeless. But then Tony found a construction company that invests in Opportunity Zones. He is now a top tradesman, drug-free, reunited with his family, and he is here tonight. Tony, keep up the great work, Tony.
Are the Democrats finally applauding? They didn't want to appear racist, not applauding to the black guy.
Thank you, Tony. Our roaring economy has, for the first time ever, given many former prisoners the ability to get a great job and a fresh start. This second chance at life is made possible because we passed landmark criminal justice reform into law. Everybody said that criminal justice reform couldn't be done, but I got it done, and the people in this room got it done. Thanks to our bold regulatory reduction campaign, the United States has become the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world by far. With the tremendous progress we have made over the past 3 years, America is now energy independent, and energy jobs, like so many other elements of our country, are at a record high. We are doing numbers that no one would have thought possible just 3 years ago. Likewise, we are restoring our nation's manufacturing might, even though predictions were, as you all know, that this could never, ever be done. After losing 60,000 factories under the previous 2 administrations, America has now gained 12,000 new factories under my administration, with thousands upon thousands of plants and factories being planned or being built. Companies are not leaving. They are coming back to the USA.
Pelosi's just stared off into
Everybody wants
space.
to be where the action is, and the United States of America is indeed the place where the action is. One of the biggest promises I made to the American people was to replace the disastrous NAFTA trade deal. In fact, unfair trade is perhaps the single biggest reason that I decided to run for president. Following NAFTA's adoption, our nation lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs. Many politicians came and went, pledging to change or replace NAFTA, only to do so, and then absolutely nothing happened. But unlike so many who came before me, I keep my promises. We did our job. Six days ago, I replaced NAFTA and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. The USMCA will create nearly 100,000 new high-paying American auto jobs and massively boost exports for our farmers, ranchers, and factory workers. It will also bring trade with Mexico and Canada to a much higher level, but also to be a much greater degree of fairness and reciprocity. We will have that fairness and reciprocity, and I say that finally because it's been many, many years that we were treated fairly on trade. This is the first major trade deal in many years to earn the strong backing of America's labor unions. I also promised our citizens that I would impose tariffs to confront China's massive theft of America's jobs. Our strategy has worked. Days ago, we signed the groundbreaking new agreement with China that will defend our workers, protect our intellectual property, bring billions and billions of dollars into our treasury, and open vast new markets for products made and grown right here in the USA.
Oh, of course, the whack pack is over there.
For decades, China has taken advantage of the United States. Now we have changed that. But at the same time, we have perhaps the best relationship we've ever had with China, including with President Xi. They respect what we've done because, quite frankly, they could never really believe that they were able to get away with what they were doing year after year, decade after decade, without someone in our country stepping up and saying, that's enough. Now we want to rebuild our country, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are rebuilding our country. As we restore American leadership throughout the world, we are once again standing up for freedom in our hemisphere. That's why my administration reversed the failing policies of the previous administration on Cuba. We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro.
Only time Nancy Pelosi applauds is for another country. She's like, yay, we're going to help Venezuela.
Maduro is an illegitimate ruler, a tyrant who brutalizes his people. But Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Here this evening is a very brave man who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of all Venezuelans. Joining us in the gallery is the true and legitimate president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido. Mr. President, please take this message back to your homeland.
Literally, the only thing the Democrats applauded for is for a foreign country. Oh, and for Tony. Where's Bernie Sanders? It's his favorite country.
Thank you, Mr. President. Great honor. Thank you very much. Please take this message back that all Americans are united with the Venezuelan people in their righteous struggle for freedom. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Seriously, have they shown Bernie, or did he boycott this? Like cow farts for brains.
Thank you very much.
Only thing that gets the Democrats excited, a foreign country.
Socialism destroys nations, but always remember, freedom unifies the soul. To safeguard American liberty, we have invested a record-breaking $2.2 trillion in the United States military. We have purchased the finest planes, missiles, rockets, ships, and every other form of military equipment, and it's all made right here in the USA.
Well, Pelosi likes war, so she's applauding that.
We are also getting our allies, finally, to help pay their fair share. I have raised contributions from other NATO members by more than $400 billion, and the number of allies meeting their minimum obligations has more than doubled. And just weeks ago, for the first time since President Truman established the Air Force, more than 70 years earlier, we created a brand new branch of the United States Armed Forces. It's called the Space Force. Very important.
Democrats don't like that. They just want to let Russia take control of the outer space and destroy our satellites and install satellite weapons up there. That's the Democrat way.
In the gallery tonight, we have a young gentleman and what he wants so badly, 13 years old, Ian Lawnfay. He's an 8th grader from Arizona. Ian, please stand up. Ian has always dreamed of going to space. He was the first in his class and among the youngest at an aviation academy. He aspires to go to the Air Force Academy, and then he has his eye on the Space Force. As Ian says, most people look up at space. I want to look down on the world. But sitting behind Ian tonight is his greatest hero of them all. Charles McGee was born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1 century ago. Charles is one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the first black fighter pilots, and he also happens to be Ian's great-grandfather. Incredible story. After more than 130 combat missions in World War II, he came back home to a country still struggling for civil rights and went on to serve America in Korea and Vietnam. On December 7th, Charles celebrated his 100th birthday.
Wow. 100 years old. That's great.
A few weeks ago, I signed a bill promoting Charles McGee to Brigadier General, and earlier today, I pinned the stars on his shoulders in the Oval Office. General McGee, our nation salutes you. Thank you, sir.
That's what that Mediterranean diet will do for you. I guarantee you he hasn't been clogging his veins up with cheeseburgers for 80 years.
From the Pilgrims to the founders, from the soldiers at Valley Forge to the marchers at Selma, and from President Lincoln to the Reverend Martin Luther King, Americans have always rejected limits on our children's future. Members of Congress, we must never forget that the only victories that matter in Washington are victories that deliver for the American people. The people are the heart of our country. Their dreams are the soul of our country, and their love is what powers and sustains our country. We must always remember that our job is to put America first.
The Whack Pack are just on their phones. Of course, we know what countries they want to put
The
first.
next step forward in building an inclusive society is making sure that every young American gets a great education and the opportunity to achieve the American dream. Yet for too long, countless American children have been trapped in failing government schools. To rescue these students, 18 states have created school choice in the form of opportunity scholarships. The programs are so popular that tens of thousands of students remain on a waiting list. One of those students is Janiyah Davis, a fourth grader from Philadelphia. Janiyah. Janiyah's mom, Stephanie, is a single parent. She would do anything to give her daughter a better future. But last year, that future was put further out of reach when Pennsylvania's governor vetoed legislation to expand school choice to 50,000 children. Janiyah and Stephanie are in the gallery. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here with your beautiful daughter. Thank you very much.
Texas Bond, I just made you a moderator. Same with you, JB Weld. If you want to block some of the trolls that are spreading rumors about Joe Rogan down in the chat, that would be great.
But Janiyah, I have some good news for you, because I am pleased to inform you that your long wait is over. I can proudly announce tonight that an Opportunity Scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice.
All right, I just made you a moderator, V1. You know who you are. You're already a member of the channel.
Now I call on Congress to give 1 million American children the same opportunity Janiyah has just received. Pass the Education Freedom Scholarships and Opportunities Act, because no parent should be forced to send their child to a failing government school.
Democrats love failing government schools. They produce government-dependent citizens.
Every young person should have a safe and secure environment in which to learn and to grow. For this reason, our magnificent First Lady has launched the Be Best initiative to advance a safe, healthy, supportive, and drug-free life for the next generation, online, in school, and in our communities. Thank you, Melania, for your extraordinary love and profound care for America's children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris Kearns, for the super chat. You are now a moderator.
My administration is determined to give our citizens the opportunities they need, regardless of age or background. Through our pledge to American workers, over 400 companies will also provide new jobs and education opportunities to almost 15 million Americans. My budget also contains an exciting vision for our nation's high schools. Tonight, I ask Congress to support our students and back my plan to offer vocational and technical education in every single high school in America. To expand equal opportunity, I am also proud that we achieved record and permanent funding for our nation's historically black colleges and universities. A good life for American families also requires the most affordable, innovative, and high-quality health care system on earth. Before I took office, health insurance premiums had more than doubled in just 5 years. I moved quickly to provide affordable alternatives. Our new plans are up to 60% less expensive and better. I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. And we will always protect your Medicare, and we will always protect your Social Security, always.
Nope, Democrats don't even like Social Security being protected. Man, these people are just degenerate.
The American patient should never be blindsided by medical bills. That is why I signed an executive order requiring price transparency. Many experts believe that transparency, which will go into full effect at the beginning of next year, will be even bigger than health care reform.
Yeah, every other place you
It
go
will
to has a
save
price
families
listed.
massive amounts of money for substantially better care. But as we work to improve Americans' health care, there are those who want to take away your health care, take away your doctor, and abolish private insurance entirely. 132 lawmakers in this room have endorsed legislation to impose a socialist takeover of our health care system, wiping out the private health insurance plans of 180 million very happy Americans. To those watching at home tonight, I want you to know we will never let socialism destroy American health care.
Sorry, Pocahontas.
Over 130 legislators in this chamber have endorsed legislation that would bankrupt our nation by providing free taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal aliens, forcing taxpayers to subsidize free care for anyone in the world who unlawfully crosses our borders. These proposals would raid the Medicare benefits of our seniors and that our seniors depend on, while acting as a powerful lure for illegal immigration. That is what is happening in California and other states. Their systems are totally out of control, costing taxpayers vast and unaffordable amounts of money. If forcing American taxpayers to provide unlimited free health care to illegal aliens sounds fair to you, then stand with the radical left. But if you believe that we should defend American patients and American seniors, then stand with me and pass legislation to prohibit free government health care for illegal aliens.
Yes. They don't stand with America. They stand with Venezuela and Mexico.
This will be a tremendous boon to our already very strongly guarded southern border, where, as we speak, a long, tall, and very powerful wall is being built. We have now completed over 100 miles and have over 500 miles fully completed in a very short period of time. Early next year, we will have substantially more than 500 miles completed. My administration is also taking on the big pharmaceutical companies. We have approved a record number of affordable generic drugs, and medicines are being approved by the FDA at a faster clip than ever before. And I was pleased to announce last year that for the first time in 51 years, the cost of prescription drugs actually went down. And working together, Congress can reduce drug prices substantially from current levels. I've been speaking to Senator Chuck Grassley of
Did you see
Iowa
Skeletor?
and others in Congress in order to get something on drug pricing done, and done quickly and properly. I'm calling for bipartisan legislation that achieves the goal of dramatically lowering prescription drug prices. Get a bill on my desk and I will sign it into law immediately. With unyielding commitment, we are curbing the opioid epidemic. Drug overdose deaths
they're protesting
declined
the
for
State of the
first
Union.
time in nearly 30 years.
What were they saying? I want to rewind it. Hold on. This is unbelievable.
The opioid
Members of Congress openly protesting the State of the Union.
With unyielding commitment, we are curbing the opioid epidemic.
What are they saying?
Drug overdose deaths declined for the first time in nearly 30 years. Among the states hardest hit, Ohio is down 22%, Pennsylvania is down 18%, Wisconsin is down 10%, and we will not quit until we have beaten the opioid epidemic once and for all. Protecting Americans' health also means fighting infectious diseases. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together on the coronavirus outbreak in China. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat. We have launched ambitious new initiatives to substantially improve care for Americans with kidney disease, Alzheimer's, and those struggling with mental health. And because Congress was so good as to fund my request, new cures for childhood cancer, and we will eradicate the AIDS epidemic in America by the end of this decade. Almost every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man, beloved by millions of Americans, who just received a stage 4 advanced cancer diagnosis. This is not good news, but what is good news is that he is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh, thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country.
Get well soon, Rush. If you guys didn't hear, he was just diagnosed with lung cancer, so he's going to be taking a little bit of time off. He's going to try to still do his show as much as he can, but we need him now more than ever. So put Rush Limbaugh in your prayers.
And Rush, in recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day that you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
He's shocked.
I will now ask the First Lady of the United States to present you with the honor, please.
Wow. At the State of the Union address. Yeah. Oh, they're going to flip out about this. Look at that seat he's got right next to the First Lady. Rush said he's going to try to be back on the air
Rush
Thursday.
and Catherine, congratulations. Thank you, Catherine. As we pray for all who are sick, we know that America is constantly achieving new medical breakthroughs. In 2017, doctors at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City delivered one of the earliest premature babies ever to survive. Born at just 21 weeks and 6 days and weighing less than a pound, Ellie Schneider was a born fighter. Through the skill of her doctors and the prayers of her parents, little Ellie kept on winning the battle of life. Today, Ellie is a strong, healthy 2-year-old girl sitting with her amazing mother, Robin. In the gallery, Ellie and Robin, we are glad to have you with us tonight.
Ellie's just ready for bed.
Ellie reminds us that every child is a miracle of life. And thanks to modern medical wonders, 50% of very premature babies delivered at the hospital where Ellie was born now survive. It's an incredible thing. Thank you very much. Our goal should be to ensure that every baby has the best chance to thrive and grow just like Ellie. That is why I'm asking Congress to provide an additional $50 million to fund neonatal research for America's youngest patients.
The Dems wanted Ellie aborted, of course. Thank you, Beastman, for the super chat. JB Weld back again.
That
Thanks,
is why
guys.
I'm also calling upon members of Congress here tonight to pass legislation finally banning the late-term abortion of babies.
Governor Blackface is not going to be very happy about that. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but I did a video about post-birth abortion a couple of years ago. Got Democrats to sign a petition to support
Whether
it.
we are Republican, Democrat, or independent, surely we must all agree that every human life is a sacred gift from God. As we support America's moms and dads, I was recently proud to sign the law providing new parents in the federal workforce paid family leave, serving as a model for the rest of the country. Now I call on Congress to pass the bipartisan Advancing Support for Working Families Act, extending family leave to mothers and fathers all across our nation. $40 million American families have an average $2,200 extra thanks to our child tax credit.
No, AOC is not there. She boycotted. I saw someone in the chat.
I've also overseen historic funding increases for high-quality child care, enabling 17 states to help more children, many of which have reduced or eliminated their wait lists altogether. And I sent Congress a plan with a vision to further expand access to high-quality child care and urge you to act immediately. To protect the environment, days ago I announced that the United States will join the 1 Trillion Trees Initiative, an ambitious effort to bring together government and private sector to plant new trees in America and all around the world.
They can't even applaud planting of trees. Oh, they had to think about it. They had to think about it.
America and all around the world.
Planting new trees? Yeah, I guess so. They can't even applaud planting trees.
We must also rebuild America's infrastructure.
That's one thing the Democrats will get behind, government spending.
I ask you to pass Senator John Barrasso's highway bill to invest in new roads, bridges, and tunnels all across our land. I'm also committed to ensuring that every citizen can have access to high-speed internet, including and especially in rural America. A better tomorrow for all Americans also requires us to keep America safe. That means supporting the men and women of law enforcement at every level, including our nation's heroic ICE officers.
Oh, that's going to get you a boo from the Democrats. No.
Last year, our brave ICE officers arrested more than 120,000 criminal aliens charged with nearly 10,000 burglaries, 5,000 sexual assaults, 45,000 violent assaults, and 2,000 murders. Tragically, there are many cities in America where radical politicians have chosen to provide sanctuary for these criminal illegal aliens. In sanctuary cities, local officials order police to release dangerous criminal aliens to prey upon the public instead of handing them over to ICE to be safely removed. Just 29 days ago, a criminal alien freed by the sanctuary city of New York was charged with the brutal rape and murder of a 92-year-old woman. The killer had been previously arrested for assault, but under New York sanctuary policies, he was set free. If the city had honored ICE's detainer request, his victim would still be alive today. The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary for criminal illegal immigrants, a very terrible sanctuary with catastrophic results. Here is just one tragic example. In December 2018, California police detained an illegal alien with 5 prior arrests, including convictions for robbery and assault. But as required by California's sanctuary law, local authorities released him. Days later, the criminal alien went on a gruesome spree of deadly violence. He viciously shot one man going about his daily work. He approached a woman sitting in her car and shot her in the arm and in the chest. He walked into a convenience store and wildly fired his weapon. He hijacked a truck and smashed into vehicles, critically injuring innocent victims. One of the victims is a terrible, terrible situation. Died, 51-year-old American named Rocky Jones. Rocky was at a gas station when this vile criminal fired 8 bullets at him from close range, murdering him in cold blood. Rocky left behind a devoted family, including his brothers, who loved him more than anything else in the world. One of his grieving brothers is here with us tonight. Jody, would you please stand? Jody, thank you.
See how smug Camel Toe was? Her state, her policies.
Jody, our hearts weep for your loss, and we will
Blood
not
on her
rest
hands.
until you have justice. Senator Thom Tillis has introduced legislation to allow Americans like Jody to sue sanctuary cities and states when a loved one is hurt or killed as a result of these deadly practices.
And sue the senators of those states, too. Camel Toe Harris has the blood of probably hundreds of people on her hands.
I ask Congress to pass the Justice for Victims of Sanctuary Cities Act immediately. The United States of America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. In the last 3 years, ICE has arrested over 5,000 wicked human traffickers, and I have signed 9 pieces of legislation to stamp out the menace of human trafficking domestically and all around the globe. My administration has undertaken an unprecedented effort to secure the southern border of the United States. Before I came into office, if you showed up illegally on our southern border and were arrested, you were simply released and allowed into our country, never to be seen again. My administration has ended catch and release. If you come illegally, you will now be promptly removed from our country.
Adios.
Very importantly, we entered into historic cooperation agreements with the governments of Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. As a result of our unprecedented efforts, illegal crossings are down 75% since May, dropping 8 straight months in a row. $20 million
of them here already. 20 million. They say it's 10 or 11,
and as
it's
the
20.
wall rapidly goes up, drug seizures rise, and the border crossings are going down and going down very rapidly. Last year, I traveled to the border in Texas and met Chief Patrol Agent Raul Ortiz. Over the last 24 months, Agent Ortiz and his team have seized more than 200,000 pounds of poisonous narcotics, arrested more than 3,000 human smugglers, and rescued more than 2,000 migrants. Days ago, Agent Ortiz was promoted to Deputy Chief of Border Patrol, and he joins us tonight. Chief Ortiz, please stand.
This is brilliant. He's a white supremacist, Mr. Ortiz. Yeah. Most legal Mexicans don't want the illegals coming here.
A grateful nation thanks you and all of the heroes of Border Patrol and ICE. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Isn't like a third of the Border
To build
Patrol
on these historic
Hispanic,
gains,
too?
we are working on legislation to replace our outdated and randomized immigration system with one based on merit, welcoming those who follow the rules, contribute to our economy, support themselves financially, and uphold our values.
And no more anchor babies.
With every action, my administration is restoring the rule of law and reasserting the culture of American freedom. Working with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Thank you, Mitch.
He cracked his smile. There he is. Smile,
And his
Mitch.
colleagues in the Senate, we have confirmed a record number of 187 new federal judges to uphold our Constitution as written. This includes two brilliant new Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Thank you.
Let's not forget that debacle.
And we have many in the pipeline. My administration is also defending religious liberty, and that includes the constitutional right to pray in public schools.
Did Ruth Bader Ginsburg make it out of the nursing home with this speech? I highly doubt it.
In America, we don't punish prayer. We don't tear down crosses. We don't ban symbols of faith. We don't muzzle preachers and pastors. In America, we celebrate faith. We cherish religion. We lift our voices in prayer, and we raise our sights to the glory of God. Just as we believe in the First Amendment, we also believe in another constitutional right that is under siege all across our country. So long as I am president, I will always protect your Second Amendment right
Yes.
to keep and bear arms.
He is systematically dismantling the entire Democrat. Oh, there's Ted Lieu.
In reaffirming our heritage as a free nation, we must remember that America has always been a frontier nation. Now we must embrace the next frontier, America's manifest destiny in the stars. I am asking Congress to fully fund the Artemis program to ensure that the next man and the first woman on the moon will be American astronauts, using this as a launching pad to ensure that America is the first nation to plant its flag on Mars.
Send all the Democrats there. Who is Nancy Pelosi
My
using sign
administration
language
is
with?
also strongly defending our national security and combating radical Islamic terrorism.
Where's Ilhan Omar? She's probably booing.
Last week, I announced a groundbreaking plan for peace between Israel and the Palestinians. Recognizing that all past attempts have failed, we must be determined and creative in order to stabilize the region and give millions of young people the chance to realize a better future. 3 years ago, the barbarians of ISIS held over 20,000 square miles of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the ISIS territorial caliphate has been 100% destroyed, and the founder and leader of ISIS, the bloodthirsty killer known as al-Baghdadi, is dead.
Cut to Ilhan Omar. Cut to Ilhan Omar.
We are joined this evening by Carl and Marcia Mueller. After graduating from college, their beautiful daughter, Carla, became a humanitarian aid worker. She once wrote, "Some people find God in church, some people find God in nature, some people find God in love. I find God in suffering. I've known for some time what my life's work is, using my hands as tools to relieve suffering." In 2013, while caring for suffering civilians in Syria, Kayla was kidnapped, tortured, and enslaved by ISIS and kept as a prisoner of al-Baghdadi himself. After more than 500 horrifying days of captivity, al-Baghdadi murdered young, beautiful Kayla. She was just 26 years old. On the night that U.S. Special Forces operations ended al-Baghdadi's miserable life, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, received a call in the Situation Room. He was told that the brave men of the elite Special Forces team that so perfectly carried out the operation had given their mission a name, Task Force 814. It was a reference to a special day, August 14th, Kayla's birthday. Carl and Marcia, America's warriors, never forgot Kayla, and neither will we. Thank you. Every day, America's men and women in uniform demonstrate the infinite depth of love that dwells in the human heart. One of these American heroes was Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Hake. On his second deployment to Iraq in 2008, Sergeant Hake wrote a letter to his one-year-old son, Gage. "I will be with you again," he wrote to Gage. "I will teach you to ride your first bike, build your first sandbox, watch you play sports, and see you have kids also. I love you, son. Take care of your mother. I am always with you, Daddy." On Easter Sunday of 2008, Chris was out on patrol in Baghdad when his Bradley fighting vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb. That night, he made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Sergeant Hake now rests in eternal glory in Arlington, and his wife, Kelly, is in the gallery tonight, joined by their son, who is now a 13-year-old and doing very, very well. To Kelly and Gage, Chris will live in our hearts forever. He is looking down on you now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. The terrorist responsible for killing Sergeant Hake was Qasem Soleimani, who provided the deadly roadside bomb that took Chris's life. Soleimani was the Iranian regime's most ruthless butcher, a monster who murdered or wounded thousands of American service members in Iraq. As the world's top terrorist, Soleimani orchestrated the deaths of countless men, women, and children. He directed the December assault and went on to assault U.S. forces in Iraq, was actively planning new attacks when we hit him very hard. And that's why last month, at my direction, the U.S. military executed a flawless precision strike that killed Soleimani and terminated his evil reign of terror forever.
Democrats must have got the memo. When he's talking about the dead terrorists, you're supposed
Our
to applaud.
message to the terrorists is clear. You will never escape American justice. If you attack our citizens, you forfeit your life. In recent months, we have seen proud Iranians raise their voices against their oppressive rulers. The Iranian regime must abandon its pursuit of nuclear weapons, stop spreading terror, death, and destruction, and start working for the good of its own people. Because of our powerful sanctions, the Iranian economy is doing very, very poorly. We can help them make a very good and short-time recovery. It can all go very quickly, but perhaps they are too proud or too foolish to ask for that help. We are here. Let's see which road they choose. It is totally up to them. As we defend American lives, we are working to end America's wars in the Middle East. In Afghanistan, the determination and valor of our warfighters has allowed us to make tremendous progress, and peace talks are now underway. I am not looking to kill hundreds of thousands of people in Afghanistan, many of them totally innocent. It is also not our function to serve other nations as law enforcement agencies. These are warfighters that we have, the best in the world, and they either want to fight to win or not fight at all. We are working to finally end America's longest war and bring our troops back home.
It's about time.
War places a heavy burden on our nation's extraordinary military families, especially spouses like Amy Williams from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and her two children, 6-year-old Eliana and 3-year-old Rowan. Amy works full-time and volunteers countless hours helping other military families. For the past 7 months, she has done it all while her husband, Sergeant First Class Townsend Williams, is in Afghanistan on his 4th deployment in the Middle East. Amy's kids haven't seen their father's face in many months. Amy, your family's sacrifice makes it possible for all of our families to live in safety and in peace, and we want to thank you. Thank you, Amy. But Amy, there is one more thing. Tonight we have a very special surprise. I am thrilled to inform you that your husband is back from deployment. He is here with us tonight, and we couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
Democrats got to be upset at that xenophobic chant.
Welcome home, Sergeant Williams. Thank you very much. As the world bears witness tonight, America is a land of heroes. This is a place where greatness is born, where destinies are forged, and where legends come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. The beautiful, beautiful Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers, and ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before.
Yes. Oh, can't applaud to make America great. Notice how he hasn't even mentioned impeachment. Very slick. Just rubbing it in silently. It's looming. They're just waiting for him to bring it up. He's not going to.
This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We are the pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world. And we change history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God.
Democrats can't even applaud God.
America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise.
Yeah, what impeachment?
And here,
someone says.
on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Nancy Pelosi was coloring during the State of the Union address. What? Now she tears it up. Symbolically tearing up his State of the Union speech. Why does she need the transcript? She was sitting right there. She can listen, or is she deaf? I thought she was studying her notes for the rebuttal, which her or some Democrats going to be doing now. I'm sure CNN will carry that live. She was just reading along with his speech because she couldn't even bear to look at him. That was great. And thank you all, super chatters. You guys are awesome. I'll try to get to some of those questions here and comments. What a night. Just tightening the screws. Didn't mention impeachment. Didn't rub it in. Just pretended like it never even happened because it basically didn't. By not mentioning it, it hurts them even more. Yes. Thank you, super chatters. Dorie's, Nancy is evil. Yes, Skeletor is smarter than the average bear is wondering why are all the Democrats wearing white? I'm not quite sure. I think it has something to do with the Women's Caucus or something. But I do know last year or 2 years ago, people put KKK hoods on them and then spread those memes around social media. And I think it was BuzzFeed was calling for them to be censored for being hate speech because it's technically against the rules to post hate symbols on social media. And so BuzzFeed was literally calling for those memes to be banned. So Friday I may do another This Week in Censorship because they're rolling out some new policies for social media. YouTube's banning a bunch more stuff. Twitter's going to start fact-checking memes and videos. It's going to get really crazy here pretty soon. I can't imagine what more else they're going to do. I mean, they pretty much destroyed the platform as it is, right? I mean, everybody already knows that the videos don't show up in the recommended section and the up next section.
The chair declares the joint session of the two houses now dissolved.
Dissolved, like your Polydent. Goodbye, Nancy. Good luck with your rebuttal. Well, that sure was fun, hey guys? Welcome back to the live stream. I haven't done a live stream in probably a year. Just been too busy, and then a lot of times I get caught up and I say, I'll do like an hour live stream. I do 2-hour live streams, and they go into 3 hours, then it gets late, and then it gets cut into my production of the following day's video. So I wanted to do one today. I have a video already for tomorrow. It won't be about the State of the Union unless I wrap up the live stream fairly soon and then kind of put one together. And so thanks to everybody who is now joined the channel. Your membership helps offset the demonetization. As you all know, it's just a growing problem. Andrew Maxon says you should live stream more. Perhaps it'll be slightly more lucrative since the ad revenue is a hit or miss for your channel. Just order the book. Awesome. I wish more people would order the book. I should start doing more serious videos about the book. I just get kind of caught up in all the stuff that's happening every day, and then I just leave it to like a short little plug at the end. So maybe I will start doing more live streams just because it might be easier than just gathering all the content together and getting all the clips and all the articles. I can just print them out and sort of go through some of the stuff and do like a live radio show, basically, or, a live broadcast and have sort of the articles and just do live commentary on it. That's something I've been meaning to do. I've tested some of the software. I may interview people over Skype through the software as well, which may be pretty cool because a lot of cool people out there I want to talk to, and I can get them on, and then we could do a half an hour interview and cover a lot more serious stuff. And I'll tell you, just to prepare the videos and to put them together, and even though I have an awesome editor, I still need to do some of the editing. It takes a long time to put together these videos, and so I don't know if I can just keep it up. That's why last year I got burnt out. I was doing 7 videos a week, and then I did that for maybe 6 months, and I just couldn't handle it. So, Activated Life, thank you for joining the channel. Robert Dalvik Silverton loves the show. Thank you, sir. Terrence Castanguay, great job as always, Mark. We need more people like you and Trump 2020. I was a little bit surprised that Trump even ran again, because after the first year when he was in office, I was thinking like Melania's going to put her foot down and, happy wife, happy life. I thought she was going to say, no, this is it. You're not running again. One term and that's it. Or Ivanka. Donald Trump Jr. is pretty strong. I think he likes the fight. Eric Trump's got it. But they all came together. I really, like a year into it, I was surprised. I thought, oh man, there's no way they're going to let him, put their family through this for another 4 years. But it's only making them stronger. I don't think anybody has ever been, this galvanizing before. Everybody talks about the Reagan years. I was too young for that. I was a kid. Didn't pay much attention to it, obviously. But this is history right now. And in 10 years, in 20 years, if we could still save all these clips, and if there are certain streaming sites and video sites that don't get censored, when history looks back on how the Democrat Party and how the mainstream media treated this administration, it's going to be shameful. I mean, absent of a true Orwellian nightmare, something straight out of Orwell's 1984, which obviously we're approaching, if we can still put these clips together and just show people what the news media was talking about, there's no way that any normal society is going to look back on that and not be completely ashamed at what the liberal media has done. But who knows? The dumbing down of society may continue. X, call me X, okay? First time voting in 2020. It's already reserved for Donald Trump. Keep it up, Mark. Love your videos from North Carolina. Hashtag Trump 2020 CNN sucks. Awesome. First time voter, hey? So are you just turning 18 or have you just sat out the elections for all these years? It's going to be interesting to see what the Generation Z kids do because they're sort of coming of age now. Bernie's got a lot of them. Oh, I see some of my custom emojis in the chat. Yes, Douglas IRL, what's up? If you do join the membership, like click the join button and chip in $5 or $10 a month during the live streams, which I don't know how often I will do them. I always want to do so much and then I just can't. I put so much on my plate. And I was like, oh, let me do this. Let me do that. It's been a year since I've done a live stream, but if I do more, which I probably will as the election comes closer, you do get awesome little custom emojis in the chat and in the comments of the normal videos. You get a custom badge next to your channel. So at first it's a little robot, like a Russian bot. And then every 30 days, I think it changes to show how long you've been supporting the channel. Jason J just joined the channel. What's up, Jason? Thank you. St. Longus, please interview Dr. E. Michael Jones regarding censorship. Yeah, they keep censoring more people. I mean, they've done the big purges. There's a couple of other channels out there which have been demonetized. I don't want to mention any names because I don't want to put any heat on them, but there's a couple more I'm sure that are on the chopping block that will come up at some point in the next 9 months, and it's just pathetic. And we'll see. The social media summit happened last July, so we'll see if they even do that again. And if there's a social media summit at the White House this year, then it's going to be on, because they haven't really done much. They haven't pushed back. I was pushing for Susan Wojcicki to be brought before Congress to be questioned, and she hasn't been. I talked with the staff at the event, and I won't reveal all that happened or all the conversations, but I made it very clear that they were missing the ball when it came to YouTube, and President Trump and everybody else focus on Facebook and on Twitter and on Google. They never talk about YouTube. Nobody knows what's going on. I've talked to members of Congress office, to their staff, and I sent them the chapter from the Liberal Media Industrial Complex on YouTube. I put it together into a PDF and I printed it out. And it's like 30 pages, and I put this nice color cover on it. And I sent them to the offices of a bunch of members of Congress and senators. And then I started calling their office, and I said, hey, so I sent you this report. Why don't you take a look at it? And I got calls back from a couple of them, and we talked about it, the staff. So I'm trying to plant the seeds before I start really just taking off the gloves and getting upset. Now that the impeachment is going to be over, we could sort of start maybe bringing that back and start calling out people like Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley on Twitter for not bringing Susan Wojcicki before Congress. Because Sanjay Pichai, whatever the hell his name is, he's been there. Jack Dorsey's been there. Mark Zuckerberg obviously has been there. But Susan Wojcicki has not. The members of Congress just think that YouTube is just for, prank videos, and we still need to do a little bit more educating with them on that. So The Groove wants to thank me for all the news and the barrels of laughs. Thank you, The Groove. I appreciate that. And if I missed your super chat from earlier during the State of the Union address, I'm sorry. I'll try to get to it. I do have a big list of them here. Mississippi 100 just joined the channel. Oh, cool. And like I said, the more of you guys who join the channel, and I don't want to harp on demonetization all the time, but the more of you guys sponsor the channel, the more less advertiser-friendly videos I can do, because it does feel like a total waste when I spend all day making a video and then that I know is going to get demonetized. Some stuff I know I need to talk about and I want to, like the one on Monday, I just couldn't resist, even though I knew that was going to cause some problems. So that's why I activated the YouTube membership, so I appreciate it. Matthew Telly, 42 years old and never voted a day in my life. This will change in 2020. Keep up the great work. MAGA. That's great. You know, I never used to pay much attention to the midterm elections, especially like when I was in college. It's like, oh, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh, so they can't, you know, the Republicans may not get their bills put forward. But I mean, it maybe it always has mattered, but it matters now. And so I think with us losing the House with the midterms last year, the MAGA movement sort of realized that midterms actually matter, and now people are going to be awakened to that. And I tell you, I know this is just like anecdotal, but I talked to two people over Christmas break, and one of them, a friend of mine from high school who voted for Hillary and hates President Trump, and within 1 year, I talked to him last year, and then I talked to him this year. A bunch of friends and I got together, and at the end of the night, I said, so, what do you think of impeachment? And he said it's a total waste of time, and it's only going to help him. And I asked him, I said, so, you know, who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for a Democrat this year? He said it probably will vote for Trump. And this is a Democrat. This is a blue-collar Democrat, a Hillary voter who has come around. And so there's a lot of people I know personally who reluctantly voted for Trump, now are 100% on board. But we can't get lazy. Danger Mouse loves the videos. What's up? What's the deal with Drudge lately? He asks. Are you going to do some more silver challenges? Maybe I should. This summer I may start doing some more man on the street videos. I just get in my mode where I was like, I need a video every 5 days. And so that's why I'm sort of like warming everybody up to, I may not be doing videos every 5 days. Every 3 days sometimes. And then if I start doing some more man on the street, then I can get a bunch of them in the can. And to me, I may need security this year. People are so crazy out there. And I haven't been done them in quite some time, and I used to get recognized quite a bit. And now it's going to be very interesting to see. I may not even be able to do them. I may have to put on a disguise. I love talking with the fans and stuff, but it's crazy because so many people would come up that it would be hard to even get them done. And that was really before I blew up, so I may have to do what the Jackass guys did. You know, they had to go to Japan to do to do one of the Jackass movies because nobody would fall for their pranks anymore because everybody knew who they were. So I might have to do them. I have to put on a disguise. JG with a mega super chat. Awesome. Thank you, JG. He says, thank you for helping awaken Americans and give them real information. I truly appreciate it. You are a true patriot, sir. Keep red pilling. Awesome. Thank you. Keep super chatting, man. That's fantastic. Mr. Jingle Stirred. So they're allowing animated emojis in the super chats now, huh? That's awesome. Number one fan. Toonie Reviews up there in Canada, eh? Nice. Thank you, Toonie Reviews. Got some new members. Nash TV guy. Lightworker with a super chat and animated number one fan emoji. Well, so we had about 17,000 people watching the live stream, which is pretty good. You know, that's 17,000 people. Most of you guys, if you were going to watch it, probably would watch it on Fox. But just to take a few thousand viewers away from, any of the major broadcast networks is good. And the stream didn't get taken down. Thank God. With, Right Side Broadcasting has had some of Trump rallies get taken down. Because the way that it works, if you're a big major network on YouTube, they're going to live stream the rallies or live stream the State of the Union address. And then they have live content ID bots scanning for stuff that's going to match up with the stream, and then they automatically take it down. So I did reach out to contact that I have at YouTube and inform them that I would maybe be live streaming the event. So they might have pulled a couple strings to make sure that it didn't get taken down. Thank you, Super Chatters. You guys are totally awesome. And new members. Please interview Tommy Robinson on Islam and the media. Is he's still on YouTube, but his channel has been quarantined, I think. So you can't even find Tommy Robinson's channel, even if you type in the exact name on YouTube. I think you have to have the URL. I mean, they literally like quarantined it, and every video of his, no comments, no ratings, no notifications, no nothing. Texas Bond threw in a super chat. Awesome. Thank you, Texas Bond. Robert Dolph's. Okay, let me pull up my super chat listing here. Audio sounds okay. I was playing around with it before so I could put C-SPAN. C-SPAN, for the most part, is public domain. If I started like putting a CNN stream up right now and we started analyzing it and mocking it, the stream would be pulled within probably a matter of minutes. Shane Murphy asked if I thought about doing a podcast. I thought about it. Really what I want to start doing is just doing interviews with people. I want to start doing Man on the Street again and then start doing interviews with people. So I did test some new software. I'm going to have to do a couple more tests just to get it. And then I can interview cool people. Oh, Brian Stelter, little Brian. A Brian Stelter impersonator in the chat. Tossed in a super chat of $5. Thank you, Brian. Craig Gosby. Cancel Nancy Pelosi, a complete disgrace. Yeah. There's one clip where she made a funny face. I should have rewound it and played it. I'm sure that clip's going to go viral. But all of the Democrats are a total disgrace. They applauded for the kids, of course, for the veterans, surprisingly. For Tony, it was he the homeless guy who got back on his feet, okay, because they didn't want to appear to be racist. They got, there's a black guy there. They're going to applaud for him. But they wouldn't applaud for anything. Nothing. Of course, they haven't done that for the last 2 years, but it's going to be interesting to see. I'll have to go back and look at this whole thing again and pull out some clips. I don't know if I'll have a video about it tomorrow. If I don't, I'll have a video tomorrow about something else that's going to be very, very exciting. So far, tomorrow's video is monetized. I'm quite surprised because I think some of the keywords in the video are the AI can't detect sarcasm. So when I say that things are great, it can't detect it because I was utterly shocked. Okay, there's a big booty lover. Nancy Pelosi confused the speech notes for the Constitution. Yeah, she definitely does want to tear up the Constitution. I was stunned. I thought she was like studying her rebuttal, but she just couldn't look the president in the eye or the Republican members of Congress. Candidate for Trump, longtime viewer, got 2 books and a Trump Thug Life shirt. Keep up the good work. Awesome. Thank you, candidate for Trump. Sorry about Prime Minister Blackface up there. I guess you guys have a Black History Month as well. I thought that was just an American thing, but apparently maybe it's a North American thing or a global thing. So Prime Minister Blackface tweeted out that he was celebrating Black History Month, which is just ironic. But that's the ultimate double standard. I mean, can you imagine if I did blackface for a live stream or for a skit, for any skit? It'd be all over. They would demonetize the entire channel. But Jimmy Kimmel does blackface. Jimmy Kimmel does blackface. All the liberals do blackface. God has my back, says James William. Yes, he does. Yes, he does, man. And last year was a very humbling year. I finally realized my impact, I guess, which I don't really see it a lot of the times. I just still feel like an ordinary guy, which, I mean, I guess I am. But when I was invited to the White House, that was like a game changer. Then I started to realize, I was like, wow, okay, I'm making an impact. And that whole thing was just so surreal. Hopefully it'll happen again. Made some good contacts over there. Make America triumphant again, says Incognito 316. If you guys made super chats earlier, I'll try to get to them here. I got a whole list of them. So thank you. You guys are more than generous. So this is awesome. Thank you for helping awaken the American people and give them real information. Truly appreciate it. You are a patriot, sir. This is JG with a mega super chat. JG, making it rain with the super chats. Dude, you guys are awesome. Danger Mouse, okay, I got to you. Electric Soup with a super chat. What's up? Thank you, Electric Soup. James William. Okay, yep. God does have my back. Oh, somebody deleted their message. I don't know what was up with the chat. I saw so many messages, and I don't know if you guys can see this or only if the moderators can see this. So many of the messages were hidden, and I don't know why, because I have it to show all messages. That you can like set it to, block out all potentially offensive things, and I don't care what people say as long as you're not spreading terrible. Like I saw some people were posting rumors like, "Oh, rip Joe Rogan passed away." So scum like that need to get blocked. But I really couldn't care less what people say in the chat. But I don't know if YouTube, I'm gonna have to look into it if they implemented something system wide. And I could see the messages there, and then I'd have to like click on the button to approve it, and there was just way too many of them. So I could see what they were, and it was very, normal comments. So I don't know if they just implemented some new filter to try to keep the comments politically correct. Veronica St. Clair with a super chat, thank you. The Groove, okay, got to you. Lisa Bell with a super chat, but no comment. No question. Well, I cover the suspension. Oh, yes. So Project Veritas and Reuters. What? Reuters got suspended from Twitter? Main Skin Mania. Yeah, I did see that James O'Keefe got suspended from Twitter again. And let's not forget that their videos have been pulled from YouTube. I don't think I posted this video, but I did confront CNN's Manu Raju in D.C. this summer about YouTube pulling it, but he just didn't say anything. It was very uneventful. I did see James O'Keefe has been suspended from Twitter, or maybe he deleted the tweet for some of their stuff. I should just talk to James and see if I can just repost Project Veritas's videos as they are. I don't like it when other people repost my videos. Because people take advantage of that, but I don't think James O'Keefe would care. I don't think it's in their business model. None of those videos are getting monetized anyway. So I should talk to him to see if I can repost those. And they've done some great stuff. I mean, they've showed like communists which we know, of course, but like violently prone communists working in Bernie Sanders' campaign, and they don't fire them. They don't, or if they did, they didn't even acknowledge it. All of the other key Bernie supporters that were running campaign operations in Iowa just privated their Twitter accounts. Did you guys all see that? Dominic Korzik, do more live streams. Do a live stream during the debates. I can't do a live stream for the debates because the debates are on network television, and that's copyrighted, and that'll be an automatic copyright strike. They'll detect it. It'll be blocked by the Content ID systems. The State of the Union and I think when Kavanaugh was affirmed, I could do that because C-SPAN is not. That's another problem with the debates. They should all be public domain. They should all be on C-SPAN, and I don't think any one network should have the monopoly. I mean, especially, let's face it, not everybody has cable and TV in this country. There's probably probably a third of the country still doesn't have cable TV, especially with streaming services now. So when the debates are on CNN and MSNBC, you're missing out on a huge audience. I think they should be public domain, just like the C-SPAN feeds. Peanut8421, watch the speech on C-SPAN. Feel so patriotic right now. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. An hour and a half. And he didn't even rub it in about the impeachment. The unemployment, bringing the guest, giving Rush Limbaugh the Medal of Honor. I was kind of like checking text messages and checking my Twitter feed. I don't know if the president, mentioned about Rush's recent diagnosis, but hopefully he'll still be back on the air. He said he'd be planning to be back on the air on, I think, Thursday or Friday. So, and he'd already known for, I think, a couple weeks, I think. So hopefully he could still be on the air with the exception of his appointments and his recovering from that treatment. James Johnson says, dude, you've got to indulge the streaming. More man on the streets. You are fantastic. Yeah, I have been wanting to do more live streams for the longest time, but like I said, it cuts into my production schedule of videos. And I think everybody's cool. I mean, I know some of you guys are probably disappointed with videos not every day. I just can't do it. It's very, very time consuming, and especially with other things that I'm doing. And I am working on another book as well, but that's not going to come out until the end of the year. So, I mean, we're only, 4 days into February? I'm always working on something. I don't know how many more books I can write, though, because my tendonitis is getting really bad. Every year it's just getting worse and worse. So having an editor edit my videos has taken a lot of the pressure off. But I do know like days when I spend a lot of time writing, even just gathering the clips for the videos, my hands are starting to hurt. And so I don't want to have to get surgery because then I'm going to have to, who knows, be out for 2 months, not do anything for 2 months. I could live stream and whatnot, but I just don't want to. I've been overdoing it for a long, long time. So. Kyle, oh man, I can't pronounce your name. Love your work. Oh wait, what's this? Do more of those. Kyle, oh man, this is the one bad thing I don't like about the live streams is I can't pronounce everybody's name. Natalia Ruiz says Nancy's face says it all. Trump 2020. What if anything have the Democrats offered? Nothing. And you got to see the clip of James Carville just tearing into the Democrats. And there's so much more, even from the Iowa debacle. Chris Matthews says that none of the Democrat candidates have a chance. I was trying to find it, and it was a previous live stream from the last 2 years where I did predict, I'm trying to find it to show, you guys know I don't BS, that I did predict that Michael Bloomberg would throw his hat in the ring. And I'm just wondering if at some point, because the media can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. The media can set the agenda. So if they just coordinate and start hyping Mike Bloomberg up, they could propel him to the top. I mean, let's face it. Tom Steyer, just through advertising, has gotten people to support him enough in the polls and to donate money to him to get him at the debate stages. I think he qualifies for the next debate. There's a debate on Friday, by the way, which I'm not going to be watching a debate on Friday. This just shows it's a total circus. Who is scheduling these things? Like the previous debate, or two debates to go in December, was like a Thursday before Christmas. Like, people are traveling, people are shopping, people are getting things ready to go. Who is watching these debates? They planned a debate, I think, right? On Friday? Who schedules a debate on a Friday? I don't even think Jimmy Kimmel does shows on Friday, right? Jimmy Kimmel, I think, has a replay on Fridays because nobody watches TV on a Friday. And they schedule a debate. I think, right? I got to pull up the regular chat and see. Tell me if I'm right. I got to find the regular chat here. Everything they do is wrong and backwards. Is the debate scheduled on Friday? You guys? And then the Oscars are on Sunday. I don't know if I could stomach watching that. I sat through 3.5 hours of the Grammys. I fell asleep, but then I watched I fast forwarded through most of it and watched some of it the next day. What's the next t-shirt idea? I got a couple that I'm working on. Oh, by the way, speaking of t-shirts, through Sunday, you can get, I'm bringing back the silver foil shirt and the gold foil Trump 2020 shirts. So just take a look at these. They're awesome. It's a special silver foil paint and gold foil paint. So they shine. Like I said, the pictures on the storefront don't do any good. So you can get these shirts through Sunday. And the reason why these aren't up in the store all the time is because there's a minimum that has to be ordered in order to print them. And so I don't want to, if there's not the threshold hasn't been met, then I don't want to disappoint everybody with having them canceled. So you can get those through Sunday, and then I'll be launching some new shirts soon. I got a couple of good ones. One of them I got to clear with the lawyer. It should be pretty good. And I know a lot of people are disappointed that I didn't have a Martin Luther King shirt for Martin Luther King Day. But I just can't. I can't do it. They would sue for that. His estate would sue. So I got to try to maybe, I don't think they would license the image. And even if they would, it would probably just be outrageously expensive. So, oh no, I'm not gonna give it away. I do. Okay, I just thought I do have one. I gotta approve it with the artist. JJ Money, keep it real from Florida. Gregory Morris, way overdue. Mark, thanks for all you do helping MAGA. It's first quarter of the 2020 election bowl, and we're winning. VR Greg in DC we are winning. It was looking a little scary there, Even Sean Hannity came back to work early from his Christmas and New Year's vacation to talk about the, pending conflict with Iran. And it was very tense. That would have just totally derailed the Trump train. So thankfully that went off, I guess not without a hitch, but it could have been much, much worse. And if one of the Republican senators would have voted on witnesses, one more, then this impeachment trial would have been dragged out for another possibly 2 months. So it'll be over tomorrow. They're voting tomorrow. It'll be official. And I love the fact that he didn't even mention it. Didn't mention his acquittal. Gold Peace Prosperity. Where is that? What is that? What country are you from, man? Love your work and thanks for the coverage. Oh, from Bombay, India. Been a fan for many years. Thank you. What do you think of my Indian accent? Did you see my Sanjay Pichar accent? Right? Thank you, Gold Peace. Only my fans have sense of humor, can understand and laugh at accent. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Indian accents, did you see what's his name? Frank Azaria has said that he's not gonna quit doing the accent of Apu on The Simpsons after he made like $80 million, I think, over the last 30 years. Oh, you poor guy. How about giving back your $80 million if you feel so bad about making all this money off of your racist character? We need to make comedy great again. I'm actually surprised my compilation video didn't get pulled. Did you see that? I posted it, like after Christmas I did like a compilation, like the best of. So I need to start tagging the videos better so people can go and find them. I don't tag the videos. They're just real generic crap. And even sometimes myself, I want to go and like find old videos that I did or go and find, certain reports and articles and stuff that I had pulled up, and I can't find them because they're just not, they're not labeled properly. They're just generic tags. But I guess it seems to be working. I started using really generic tags when the demonetization got really bad, and it seemed to like anything with Trump or CNN if you just use the word like stupid or moron in the tags to like describe, CNN, is CNN's moronic cast or Don Lemon's stupidity tonight, all that stuff. It doesn't get monetized anymore. So gotta go with the generic stuff. But thank you, Gregory Morris. Thank you. TT2, what a legend. Keep crushing those despicable Dems. Thank you, sir. Stephen Ward with the super chat. Got some big super chats in there today. Anthony W. Stanton, thank you, sir. You guys are more than generous. I wish you guys would buy books instead of just super chatting. Now, if I do, I know I did say I was working on another book. If my tendonitis doesn't get too bad, then I should finish it at the end of this year. And if I do, this one's got to be number one. I probably wouldn't have. I had like an outline done. I have outlines done for a whole bunch of other different projects for different books that I want to start working on. And then what I do is, as soon as I finish the final draft and send it off the book to the proofreader, then I start immediately working on the next one. So that's what I did. So I already had like a huge outline and notes and quotes, and just I kind of work on multiple different ones and then just put most of my time towards one. So if I do finish it, it's got to be number one. I was so pissed that we were only number two. That's why I was like, all right, well, I got to write another one then. I got to be number one. So this year, if I come out with it, we got to do it. We got to get it to number one. I can't even believe nobody wrote. I can't even get any press. Like, I guess number two is kind of like, nobody remembers who a silver medal winner is in the Olympics. You got to be gold. You got to be number one. But I have a couple contacts in media, and a lot of media people follow me on Twitter, so I can DM them. And some of them I DM'd with in the past. And so, I sent a bunch of DMs. I was like, I'm number two. I'm number two on Amazon. Can you write a story about it? Crickets. Which I guess is like, okay, yay, number two. So we got to get it to number one. And then we'll watch them really freak out. And Brian Stelter's book is going to come out at some point this year. They haven't announced it yet, so I assume it'll come out right before the election. And so we got to watch to see what Brian Stelter's book does. I bet he won't even make it into the top 50. I think Amazon, right? No, I think AOC is actually a beautiful woman, which is the only reason why, Hayward, why she became a star. Nobody that dumb, if they were, fat and ugly, would have gotten anywhere close. It just, guys were we're suckers for that kind of thing. And you see a beautiful woman, oh, yeah, oh. And especially if you got no brains, you're a dumb Democrat, you're just like, yeah, she's amazing. I got another clip of her from one of her documentaries that I've been meaning to show, doing like a Stuart Smalley. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. She literally had like a mantra like that she was doing, and it was on Netflix. Marty McGill from Georgia. Thank you, Marty. Hopefully you guys are still watching. I'll try to get through some of the super chats that you guys put during the State of the Union address. Wombat360, Jesus is Lord. Believe and repent, you will be saved. Absolutely. I should start promoting Christ more. I think it's I'm not exactly a great example of a Christian, but I think it probably should be pretty clear that that's where I stand. And I think Trump wants to, or has he already done it, like lessen the restrictions of the Johnson Amendment that prevents churches from being actively political or endorsing candidates or getting involved in certain things politically. Otherwise, they'll lose their tax-exempt status. And, I think that, didn't Jesus say, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's? So I don't know why these mainstream churches, almost all of them, why do they need their tax-exempt status if it's gonna muzzle them? Pay your taxes, pay to Caesar, and then you have your free speech. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's gonna. What are they gonna pay? Probably saving 30% of their income. But is it really worth it for your 30%, your 30 pieces of silver to become Judas goats? Jeremy Gray with the super chat of USA. Thank you. Texas Bond. Okay, I saw you. Drea Ward, what's up? Go North Carolina. Cheryl Snow. Trump plus Pence equals Trumpets. Yes. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Pence then will pick up the mantle in 2024. And, Pence is such a great guy. He's going to have one debate. I think two debates. So he'll get to crush whoever the VP pick is for the Democrats. Second Amendment shall not be infringed, says the Night King. Thank you. North Shore Moana with the super chat. I want my country back too. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Oh, did you see... So Pete Buttigieg, at least the last I checked, he won the Iowa caucus, basically, right? That's what all the figures were saying. I don't know how many districts were reporting. So he gave his acceptance speech last night, thinking that that was what the case is going to be. And he said, he was talking about himself, like, oh, nobody ever thought that, this is for anyone who thought that he or she or they, couldn't make it in society for being who they are. So he had to appeal, of course, to the gender non-binary people. I mean, we're in a society now where the leading candidates have their preferred pronouns in their Twitter bios. That's how insane things have gotten. So just pray to God that they've gone so far left that the pendulum starts swinging back after Trump crushes them in 2016. Biggest red pill speech ever, says Barbutt. Yep, absolutely. I mean, I kind of want to end the stream and just watch CNN to see them completely flip out. I should actually start recording the clown news. Give me a second here. I'm going to record Anderson Cooper and see what these losers are saying later. Fat Barn, toss the super chat. These super chatters are absolutely fantastic. Did that work? There we go. Rain in super chats today, guys. This is awesome. They're doing live streams more often. Watching Nancy Pelosi. Okay, Natalia Ruiz got to you. Texas loves you, Mark, says Damon S. Thank you. Yeah, Texas. I mean, this is how bad things have gotten. Texas is like risking going blue here. I mean, got to bring Texas back. Need the revival. Richard Getz wants to ban abortions. Yeah, we should. We should. That's how we should take over the House. I mean, we got to have a resurgence. We have to have a red wave. We must. Never before has it been so clear the importance of actually owning the majority in the House. And again, for a lot of people who don't follow politics, it's just, the midterms, and get their bills passed, whatever. But I think this has been the greatest political awakening in modern history now. The importance, the Democrats trying to destroy this country. Michael Germain, 4 more years, absolutely. Red Rocket, thank you. And thank you, President Trump. Thank you for the super chat. Somebody with the username of Crackhead dropped a $5 super chat. Skeletor is triggered. How do you guys get usernames in different fonts? That's pretty interesting. Beastman Putt. Not even a comment over there, Beastman, huh? Usher Kraus. I think they said shame on you. No, I think the Democrats were saying like HR 3. I think they were promoting some bill, right? But how rude is that for them to literally start chanting in the middle of the State of the Union address? Has that ever happened before? I think the only other person who has ever like protested during a State of the Union address was Joe Walsh, that one-term congressman who's now running for president against President Trump, who shouted, "You're a liar," to Obama. Which, yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful and it breaks protocol. But he was a liar. And I'm kind of like the class clown, so I have a hard time like actually following the rules. But, that probably was inappropriate. But that was just one guy. And obviously he's just a loose cannon. He's a crazy guy. Actually, what I want to do, one thing I should start doing is, I said I want to start interviewing people. I want to start interviewing total lunatics as well. Like, I wonder if I could get like Deval Patrick to come on the show. Deval Patrick is some no-name Democrat. I think he's like the former governor of some state. And he's running as a Democrat. He hasn't dropped out. And Joe Walsh. I should see if I could get these people on the show. Or Tom Steyer. How awesome would it be if I could get Tom Steyer to come on the show? If his staff, I could pretend, create another email address as a producer and then send out and be like, yeah, come on the show. Hopefully they wouldn't do wouldn't actually go and look it up and see actually, yeah, you know what? Mark's coming around. He's a big environmentalist. He's dissatisfied with the current crop of candidates. Get Tom Steyer on the show as an interview. Or, you know what? If any of these clowns are coming to San Diego, email me, mark@markdice.com, and let me know. I need to start paying more attention to local news, because if they come to San Diego, then I could like go there, and to their town hall, and I might have to wear a disguise, at this point. But I want to start kind of like causing some more trouble for for these people. Dan Agree with super chat. Thank you. Michael Baya is asking me about some other YouTube channels. I've heard of those channels. I don't really watch a lot of other YouTubers. So I don't like to comment on other YouTube channels. But I've kind of heard their names floating around, but I don't know too much about them. Joey D, thank you, Mr. President. Joey D over there with a nice avatar of the First Lady. Triple Fed 833T. This truly shows you how evil the left is. Nancy couldn't even stand up and clap for a mom with her child. What a shame. No, Democrats wanted that poor little girl aborted. Chris Kearns, Mark is in rare form tonight. And Janelle and I say hi. Well, thank you, Chris. I don't know if I know any Janelle, but hopefully you're still watching. And I got your super chat there. Thank you. Sergeant Goldfish, what's up? Their fair share. That's what Z said. Okay. Omar was showing Tlaib nudes of her brother. I think they're finally investigating Ilhan Omar's alleged fake marriage to her brother, which I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, I try not to jump on a lot of these rumors and spread them around because a lot of them are rumors, but there does seem to be a lot of smoke around Ilhan Omar and her which is now over, her marriage. And isn't she dating somebody in her campaign staff now? Maybe violating campaign finance laws there. Fun for Life says, look at the liberals pout as the president is declaring improvements made for America and Americans. Of course, being socialists, they hate all he is saying. America is being made great again. And what did they do? Applaud maybe 3 times? Applauded 3 times during the whole speech. One for infrastructure, of course, more government spending. That's the one thing that they will applaud always. Nancy soiled her diaper, says Adam Farbo. Probably. She did have her Polident in, though. Christopher Taylor, so much winning I can't keep up. I know. I'm going to have to go and analyze this speech. And I figured it'd be better to do a live stream than, post like the whole speech tomorrow or post it on Saturday. And even if I start reposting content like that, YouTube may have problems with the channel for posting repurposed content or unoriginal content. Benjamin Pete with the super chat. Thank you, Pete. Benjamin. Mr. Pete. Enjoy your last State of the Union as speaker, says 2010s Jay. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Kevin McCarthy will get in there and Nancy Pelosi can be sent off to the pastor. Real Mr. Good with a super chat. Thank you, sir. More Captain Planet. Sandra D wants more Captain Planet. I got one more. I mean, it's going to be a little bit while before Captain Planet drops out of the race. I should reach out to him and see if I can get him on the show. Be like, hey, there's a huge YouTube channel, sir. Come on and we'll get you to your grassroots, connected to your grassroots fan base. We are big fans of Tom Steyer here on the channel, though, as you know. He is one of the biggest sponsors of the channel and has been. He's been sponsoring the channel for years with his impeachment stuff, and now it's his. He'll be sponsoring even when he drops out. He'll just, be calling for the second impeachment. So I love Tom Steyer. I think he's pissed away $100 million in the last month alone. $100 million. Rich people and their hobbies. Alex Miner. Mark, you fight libs with more sense than most out there. Keep it up. Thank you. I try. It does get maddening, though. I mean, that's why I do digital detoxes on the weekends. A lot of times, I might tweet or something in the morning or post, some stuff or have some posts kind of ready to go, ready to roll. But for the most part, I unplug. I recommend everybody unplug. You got to do it. Ms. High, the husband loves the books. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thanks for being a reader. Thank you for being a reader. The books are where you're going to find the unvarnished truth. I have a teleprompter, And I did this a couple years ago. I put one of the chapters of my book in the teleprompter, and then I just basically read it out loud, and it was okay. I may try to do that again, so I can hit all the points. And I'm going through some of the texts, and I'm like formatting it, and I'm doing tests to see how long of how many minutes the certain pages are going to be in the prompter and all this stuff. And I was like, man, I can't read this out loud. I can't post this on YouTube. It's going to cause problems. So you got to get the books. And for those of you who have got the books, you know, I mean, they're not funny. I'm a very serious person as well. So go read the reviews. A lot of people have left some really good reviews for the books. Thanks, Mark, for keeping independent media. Thank you, Saw. Thank you, Saw. Democrats are doing a throwback uniform to their KKK era, says Carl's Jr. Yes, they are. There's probably memes going around of them with KKK hats on, and I guarantee you, BuzzFeed's going to call for them to be banned again. They literally did. They said they wanted it banned because people were using hate symbols in their memes. And, everything backfires on these Democrats because there's an Democrat artist, who took a bunch of MAGA hats and cut them up and then sewed them into a KKK hood. Okay, so she must have bought, and this is great, she wasted all her money, probably a dozen or more MAGA hats to make this hood, cuts them apart, sews them into a KKK hood, posts it on her Instagram account, and Instagram has a policy against hate symbols. And so her Instagram got shut down, even though obviously she was trying to, say that the MAGA hat is a KKK hood, but it was a KKK hood, and her Instagram got banned. And I think it got restored, but it's just the symbology of it all. And then she blocked me on Twitter when I started mocking her. I can't get anybody big to block me on Twitter, though. Like I said, I did my end of the year people who blocked me on Twitter. I think there's been a couple people who blocked me already this year. But the reason for it, I figured it out, because I'm on so many block lists that nobody even sees my tweets already. So, cover the event with Brian, Dub Coco, I think I already did that. I had a little Brian, I took it out. I had a Brian Stelter clip for the live streams, but I took it out for something else. Because I wanted to show you guys a video. Many of you have already seen this, or some of you have already seen this, but under YouTube's new rules, this video will be banned because you're not allowed to spread false rumors about somebody's death on YouTube now. Because, and maybe part of this is because some jackass YouTuber did a hoax video saying his girlfriend died and all this crap. And so, but I think they mentioned Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because there's a lot of conspiracy videos out there that people saying that Ruth Bader Ginsburg's been dead. So this video will now be against YouTube's policy because I did this video telling people that Joe Biden had died, but not as a conspiracy theory, but, well, you'll see. A lot of presidents and vice presidents have airports and buildings and monuments built just to commemorate their legacy. Joe Biden's been dead for 7 years now, and there isn't a memorial. There's no airport or building named after him. Do you think it's time that we help remind people of the legacy of Joe Biden and maybe build a memorial in D.C. for him?
I mean, I definitely think so. 7 years has been that's quite a long time, so I would definitely agree with you on that.
Or maybe name what building do you think maybe we should name after him to help people remind them of the legacy of Joe Biden?
I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe a military base, something like that. I mean, something along those lines. I don't know.
An Alzheimer's clinic or something?
Maybe. A VA hospital, something like that.
Okay. The Joe Biden, Alzheimer's clinic to help people's memories, maybe?
Yeah.
A lot of times these former presidents and vice presidents, they have libraries, airports, monuments named after them. Nothing has been named after Joe Biden, and he's been dead for 7 years now. Do you think it's time we name something after Joe Biden to remember his legacy so he's not forgotten?
I completely understand that, yeah. Yes.
What should we name after Joe Biden to help people remember who he is and what he did for the country?
I think it should be something more about his accomplishment, something best suited his accomplishment. Other than that, I think
like an Alzheimer's clinic or something?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Former presidents and vice presidents have buildings, airports, monuments built for their memory. Joe Biden has been dead for 7 years now, and there hasn't been an airport or a monument or anything, a memorial built for him. Do you think it's time to, name something after him to help remind people of his legacy?
I'm not from here, bro.
Where are you from?
I'm from Arizona.
Oh, so you never haven't heard of Joe Biden in Arizona? No.
Yeah, sorry
Well,
about that.
we'll have to find some locals who have heard of Joe Biden. All right, bro. Have a good trip.
Right, thanks.
What would you think would be a good thing to name after Joe Biden to help keep his memory and legacy alive?
Did he die or something?
He's been dead for a few
Oh
years
goodness.
now.
Okay, I feel
And
silly.
Joe Biden's been gone for a few years now. He hasn't had a memorial or a building or anything named after him. What would be something good to name after Joe Biden to help keep his memory alive and his legacy?
I don't know, like a state park or a garden or something. That would be nice. Like something that the public can use, or
The Joe Biden State Park, just
Sure,
to, with a little memorial of what he's done for the country, just to keep his memory alive.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. When a president passes away, there's usually a monument or a building named after them. Joe Biden's been dead for a couple years now, and there's no memorial, no buildings named after him. What do you think would be a good building to name after Joe Biden to help keep his memory and legacy alive? Maybe like an Alzheimer's clinic, or like a memory.
Maybe even at a hospital.
Hospital,
I don't know.
The Joe Biden Hospital.
Yeah.
Maybe special hospital dealing with memories and Alzheimer's to keep his memory alive.
Yes.
A lot of people have forgotten all about Joe Biden and his legacy. So you think a hospital to name it after Joe Biden.
I feel kind of stupid because I don't even know who he is,
No,
man.
that's fine. Okay. Oh,
No,
you don't?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right,
but
that's
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Thanks for your opinion.
I say more for the kids. Do something for the kids, so it's better for them. They're the future. So
maybe like a Joe Biden playground or
amusement
something.
area, yeah.
And that'll just to help teach the kids about the legacy of Joe Biden.
Well, they're the ones coming up. So us, it's too late for us. The guys that we can't count on anymore. So future's our kids. So something,
so that they don't forget who Joe Biden was.
Yeah, show the history of whoever is coming up and doing good for this country. So
a lot of people just have forgotten all about him, and so I guess that's a good idea to keep teaching the youth so that they will remember who Joe Biden is.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, have a good day.
Love that shirt. A lot of presidents and vice presidents have memorials and airports and things named after them. Joe Biden's been dead for 7 years, and there's no memorial.
Joe Biden's not dead.
Good for you.
I know who you are.
Thanks for going.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen the video.
Yeah, catching people's bluffs, basically.
A lot of people just don't have any idea who Joe Biden is.
That sucks.
Don't know that he's still alive.
People need to be a lot more educated.
They do. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Appreciate it. Well, that was when he was VP. So you can't do those kinds of videos anymore. I mean, I got a feeling if I start doing, the kinds of man on the street videos that I'm thinking about, it's going to be, YouTube's going to take them down. It's going to be a problem. So let me pull up some more. Alex Miner, you guys still watching? Thank you. Oh, talking about the bat flu soup virus. Sean Robinson, thank you for my morning cup of coffee. Well, thank you, Sean. Let me see here. Betty Albert, thanks for the live stream. Thank you, Betty. Thanks for watching. I wish I could do the live streams of the debates, but like I said, I can't do that. Tabitha Davis with the super chat. Hello, Tabitha. Thank you. Gallon Citrus, thank you for brightening my days, she says, with the super chat. Thank you. Ron Hunter, appreciate that. Kevin Coleman, thank you for all you bring to us. You made me so more aware since 2016. Well, I try. I do feel like I have to do a public service. There's so much fake news, so much insanity, and I have to set the record straight. Right? I mean, it's too insane, man. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if we can finally get over this impeachment nonsense and start focusing on the election. But what are they going to have? I mean, how are they going to even argue policy differences? What do the Democrats have to offer? They have nothing. All they're going to do is just, he's a racist, sexist. My biggest fear is in the next 9 months that the globalists will do something to crash the economy. I don't know. There's a million different ways for them to do it, but that would probably be the only thing that could take down Trump. And even if that happens, I mean, I don't know if that would even be able to be enough to take him out. Even if the stock market drops by 50%, I mean, what is that going to do? Bring it back to, 2016 levels, basically? I think the NASDAQ just hit an all-time high again today. AOC Stalin 2020. Yes. No, they love those socialists. Eric Palazzo. Oh, thank you, Eric. Jason Stewart. What's up, Jason? I'll go through a couple more of these super chats and then wrap up the stream in maybe 15 minutes or so. Joshua Freeman, it's been a long time. Thanks for everything and hosting the State of the Union. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks for the super chat. Every one person I could take away from cable news or ABC, I will do. Brian Stelter in the chat. USMC retired Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Joe Davis, thank you, Joe, for your service. Yeah, the red wave is coming. I mean, oh man, what are they going to do? Joe Biden is falling apart. Who would have thought that Pete Buttigieg would have won the Iowa caucus? Matt Sell, sorry I'm late. Both me and your dad love the vids. I also have dirt Clintons or hate the dirty Clintons. Don't tell anyone. Oh, you have dirt on the Clintons. Yeah, social credit score is probably coming here. Aeromac with a super chat. Thank you, Aeromac. Steve Carpenter. Thank you for all you do, bringing a laugh to my mornings. Your fellow 49th District. Oh, nice. Yes, unfortunately, we do not have a Republican congressperson anymore. Although Darrell Issa is now running again in, I think, like the 50th district or the district down in San Diego. So he is running again, coming out of retirement. So it'll be interesting. I guess he just couldn't handle staying out of the game. Duncan Hunter's old seat. Carl DeMaio. I don't know if you get Carl DeMaio's show up there. He was a local radio host. He's also running, but he is one of the log cabin Republicans. Carl DeMaio has been. He's a rainbow person. His radio show is actually okay if you could just get over his little fifty voice. Like he made some decent points, but now he wants to be a member of Congress. So better than a Democrat. We'll see. I'm already getting sick of seeing his ads. Him and Darrell Issa are both slinging some serious mud at each other. So when Darrell Issa was my congressperson, I should have went to his office and got to know him a little bit better. Drink Beers has a comment. Has some, can't read that or the SPLC will come after me. Drinks Beers. That is an inappropriate comment to be saying these days. Chris Vesey, congratulations to Rush Limbaugh getting the Congressional Medal of Freedom. Godspeed in his cancer recovery. Yeah, we need Rush Limbaugh. We need Rush Limbaugh more than ever, man. And somebody mentioned yesterday when they were talking about when he announced his diagnosis, does he even have guests on his show? I think he just talks for like 3 hours straight. I don't know how he does it, man, but he said he's not even taking a couple months off to recover. He said he's going to keep coming and doing the shows. So hopefully his chemotherapy doesn't, knock his energy down that low, and hopefully it's manageable, and hopefully he could stay on. We need Rush. We need Rush more than ever. I think giving him that Medal of Freedom just boosted his spirits big time. I mean, it's one thing to be invited. He was there. I think he was sitting right next to the First Lady, right? And to get the Medal of Freedom, I even got a text message from a friend of mine during the State of the Union. It said, turn it on. It's like, Rush just got the Medal of Freedom. Hold off on the super chats for now, guys, because I'm going to wrap up the live stream in just a little bit. Mayor Goldenberg, I hope and pray that we get the House back on the right. Yeah, we better. We better. We need, otherwise he could get impeached again. And this is what I said, you know, I put out a call to action, like I think the night before or the day before the midterms and really tried to make it known how important it was. But it's hard because the opposition is always more motivated. It's just like if you go to a bad restaurant, you're going to tell 10 people how terrible it was. But if you go to a good one, you might tell one person. So they were motivated. I mean, they were literally talking about the midterms immediately late in election night. I mean, after Trump won, they're like, okay, we'll get him in the midterms. They, you know, the Washington Post started talking about impeaching. So they were planning that for 2 years. And, you know, hate's a powerful motivator. Hate, the Democrats fueled that hate. But who knows? I mean, this impeachment thing, I think, has stirred up a lot of anger amongst Trump supporters. So, and now we got a double dose of it, right? We escaped the Mueller garbage, and then they immediately, I mean, what was it, like less than a month after the Mueller report debacle? And then they find the new Ukraine gate. So, we shall see. Anonymous Yako, I don't know if you got my question, but what will you do next if I am taken off of YouTube? You know, I try not to think about that. If I do get taken off of YouTube, then check my other social media sites to see where I go. If I don't want to tip my hand, you know, I kind of got some other things, plan B in the works, but I mean, plan B will suck. And a lot of other people are, oh, well, just go to BitChute, or, well, you want to be on the main platform. And I don't want to run between, you know, with my tail between my legs and give up. And I'm going to milk YouTube for all that they can. The fact that they don't want us here is all the more reason why we should be here. So I don't want them to, I don't want to give up. I'm going to keep posting. They're going to have to make me leave. I mean, the worst case scenario is I would just host videos on my own site, and then I'd have to put some kind of paywall there because the bandwidth would be pretty expensive. But hopefully BitChute will still be around, but who knows? I mean, VidMe was another one a couple years ago, which just couldn't sustain itself. So I don't know how long BitChute's been around. I think a couple years. But who knows? I mean, the bandwidth could be so expensive, they could get faced with lawsuits, they could have them shut down. I think that's the only other one. JB Weld is rocking it. Did I get to this? JB Weld. Isn't that like an epoxy, right? Keep cranking out the videos, Mark. The end of satire is the amendment of vices through correction, and he who writes honestly is no more an enemy to the offender than the physician is to the patient when he prescribes harsh remedies to the disease. Interesting. Is that your quote, or who said? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, when you make sarcastic satirical jokes, yeah, it's no more hostile than the doctor telling the patient the diagnosis. I mean, liberalism is sick. Oh, that's the thing. I'm surprised they haven't banned my liberalism find a cure shirt. Well, actually, I mean, I guess they did. They took that one down with my Trump shirts, but then they got it back up. Because it is against YouTube's policy to make fun of somebody with a disease. Okay? Because just how, like, you know, you can't be racist, you can't be sexist, you can't be homophobic, blah, blah, blah. You can't make fun of anybody who has a disease. And so making fun of liberals, you know, I mean, it technically violates YouTube's terms of service. JG, did I get to you yet? Are you still watching? Thank you for helping awaken Americans and give them real information. I truly appreciate you. You are a true patriot, sir. Keep red pilling. I'm trying. I am trying, man. Thank you for all you do. Bringing the laugh to the morning. Okay, there's Stephen Carpenter. I think I got all your super chats, unless it was like earlier in the live stream, and then they have vanished. But I think I went through the page that keeps them listed. I think I went through most of them. So thanks again, guys. Thanks to all the members. And if you're still watching, if you want to just sign up with a membership, it's $5 or $10 a month. Helps offset the mass demonetization. Nancy didn't clap at the end. Says, Adam, no more super chats, guys. I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I'll just check out some of the ordinary chat. Thank you, the one and the other moderators, McCamkey. And I'll try to make more moderators if I do other live streams. Like I said, I don't care what anybody says in the chat as long as it's not like calling for violence or if they're doing crazy stuff. Like there were people spreading rumors that Joe Rogan had died. So stuff like that, you guys need to get blocked. And no trolls around. So Nancy is the coronavirus. And see, I don't know about. I don't want to get into some of the conspiracy theories about the coronavirus. I've been seeing a lot of stuff, but it's hard to find the videos now. But if you were to look up old YouTube videos, there's still ways to do it. You got to filter the search. But if you look up, like, you know, Super Bowl 2008, every year from like 2008, like Super Bowl false flag and Ebola, you know, this is the bioweapon being released on the. There's a lot of crazy fear mongering when it comes to a lot of these diseases, and let's not forget what happened with Ebola just a few years ago. And now you don't hear about it at all. I mean, what was anybody in America even diagnosed with Ebola? So there's 30,000 people that die a year of the ordinary flu. I did notice at the hardware store the other day they had masks and Lysol right up by the front door. Like literally when you walk in to the hardware store, the painting masks were there and all the Lysol. And I asked somebody, I said, is that because of the coronavirus? And they just rolled their eyes and said yes. So I mean, I could see people getting masks as a precaution or getting them and sending them back, but I don't even think. I think, the N95 mask, I think, is the only one that's even going to block particles. Like, you see these people walking around Japan with surgical masks on. Okay, those don't stop you from inhaling stuff. Like, only the N95 masks do that. I think it stands for, like, blocked 95% of the particles. That's why, it's I don't know what the N stands for. But surgical masks do not. Dust masks do not. They do not block. They'll block sawdust. But they're not going to block viruses. I think the N95 may do that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to get too concerned about it. But at some point, I mean, we could have a total new black plague that wipes out half the population. I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't happened already. Igor with Super Chat. Stop the Super Chats, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Will Mitch McConnell tear up at the articles of impeachment tomorrow? He cracked a smile tonight. Did you see that? He may crack a smile tomorrow. What time are they voting tomorrow? Because I'm on the West Coast, and I'm always up really late. Like, I literally, by the time even my editor finishes a lot of the videos, I'm gonna text my editor. I don't know if I'm gonna do a new video for tomorrow. I already have one ready. But even by the time like he gets the videos done and I'm still working on other stuff, and might have to by the time I upload these videos, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So my days don't get started until pretty late. So I don't know what time they're gonna be voting tomorrow. I assume by late afternoon my time we'll be ready. So all right, cool. I think I got to everybody. Brett S. If I didn't get to you earlier, thank you, Brett S. And if I missed your super chat, I really apologize. You can email me, mark@markdice.com. I'll try to be a little more organized in the future. I'll try to do more live streams, and then even what I may do sometimes I feel like there's things that I want to rant about. And if I do a live stream or if I prepare some articles and some things to talk about, I can do that. And like I said, I can start interviewing people at some point. But I think I've been saying that for years. And I had the software a couple years ago. I'm like, maybe I'll test it and I'll test it. But time flies and I'm trying to just keep up with everything. So I will keep in touch. 4 p.m. Eastern time they're voting. Okay, so 1 o'clock my time they're going to be voting. Good. What a week, huh? What an absolute disaster for the Democrats. The Iowa caucus debacle. Okay, so somebody's saying that the virus is smaller than the N5 mask. Yeah, so who really knows? I try not to get caught up in the fear mongering, and trust me, I've been around on YouTube long enough to see viral. I don't want to mention any names, but certain viral conspiracy videos for the last 10 years on YouTube. Every time there's something like this that happens, and people start freaking out and start thinking the worst, and actually, YouTube probably pulled a lot of the older videos, but if you were to search for, violating the terms of service, but years ago, if you were to search for like Super Bowl false flag, 2008, Super Bowl false flag 2009, you would see lunatics posting videos literally like warning that they're gonna nuke the Super Bowl. There's a clue in the new Batman movie, and they're giving you the signal. It's all out in plain sight. And I really have no patience for the more paranoid conspiracy stuff. And if you've read any of my books on the Illuminati, then you know that I look at the conspiracies with kind of a skeptical view. And if you've read any of my books, then you know how well I document and source and footnotes things. No, Ralphie, I said I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you know what I mean. There's plenty of people. I see a couple names floating around in the chat about some of the conspiracy stuff, and they think they're getting the word out and warning people, but I literally did not watch any of the Super Bowl whatsoever. And I try not to, I used to trash people who did. It's fine. You want to have your entertainment and this and that. But I just don't feel like it's... I don't feel like you need to be a part of that pop culture. So I did see some of the clips of the skanks and the booty shakers and the children in cages, of course. But I just don't feel like I need to... I can't... I have tried to care about a bunch of people chasing after a ball on a field. I just can't get excited about it. Like, yeah, no, my team's got the ball. No, my team's got the ball. And basketball's even worse. We put more balls into the basket. I mean, I know maybe it's good for people to zone out and kind of turn their brains off, but it's just not. It's not for me. I'm sorry. But thank you for everything, you guys. You guys rock. I'm going to wrap up here, so check back for another live stream. At some point, when something big happens like this, I may do a live stream, but who knows? Maybe I won't do one again until election night, But I don't know if I'll even do one for tomorrow for the vote. It'll probably be a little bit too late for that. But happy Acquittal Eve, everybody. Tomorrow's the big day, so I'm gonna have to be monitoring the news to get some fantastic clips because they're gonna be melting down, as you saw in today's video. Jeffrey Toobin did what they call in the legal world an excited utterance. Okay, so hearsay is not allowed in trials, but there are, for the most part, there are some exceptions. An excited utterance is hearsay and is allowed. An excited utterance is not hearsay, but an excited utterance is basically when somebody reacts to something that they see immediately without thinking. Okay, so if somebody, I think I have this right, if somebody witnessed something happen, they can say that so-and-so said such and such, and that I think may be allowed if it was an excited utterance. Okay, so not if it's just a general, I heard somebody make a comment about something, but if it was an excited utterance. So that's what Jeffrey Toobin made his excited utterance, his comment without thinking, when Wolf Blitzer asked him, what do you think? And the first thought out of his mind, the first thing out of his mouth, Trump won. Trump won, and this is how history's going to remember it. So, good old Jeffrey Toobin, CNN senior legal analyst, had an excited utterance. A verbal utterance without thinking behind it. And it was that Trump won. The first thing out of his mouth. So, thanks again. I'm trying to find the panel here to shut this live stream down. So, Okay, cool. Hopefully it wasn't lagging too bad. Hopefully the audio was good. I think I got the bugs worked out of it. So thanks again, guys. Check tomorrow for a brand new video that you're going to love. If it's not on the State of the Union freakout, it's getting a little late here for me to start finding clips and get it together and stuff like that. But there will be a video tomorrow on something totally different that is very politically incorrect. It's going to be another good one. So check it out. Thanks again for everything, you guys. We'll see you soon.